Hello, this is Kingsley Obadiri. Welcome to Real Talk. And hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. This is the hottest spot, the podcast on the internet, all over. I'm on here. Hit that like button, all right? Now, getting right to it, NBA Conference Finals, the Dallas Mavericks versus. Ooh, Minnesota Timberwolves with the young Anthony Edwards. What do we expect that's going to happen? Ooh, I'm excited. But before, we're going to have to wait till tomorrow before we get to that game. I want to talk about, the collapse of the New York Knicks. And I know that they suffered a lot of injury bug. And Draymond, Green, of course, put in the two comments about, nobody, should boo-hoo-hoo them and, boo-hoo-hoo them and all of that stuff, that nobody cares about injuries. And, to be honest, Draymond is, quite right to a certain extent. You have to overcome a lot to win a championship, a lot. You have to play through injuries. You have to play through all kind of things. And granted, the Knicks were hit with a rash of injuries, but they were still there. Game 7, had a chance. You're supposed to show out, So that is that. But you got to give the credit to Halliburton and Indiana Pacers for bringing the hammer down, on Game 7 in enemy territory. Wow. It had to be done. That also brings us to the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. How the Timberwolves brought the hammer down to Denver. In Denver, with Jokic. But people got to understand, the dynasty is not over in Denver. It hasn't even begun. One championship does not make you a dynasty. So people need to stop talking about, the dynasty. No, you got to build a dynasty first. Now, do they have a chance to run it back again? Get back to where they were last year? Absolutely. Absolutely they do. But we can't just, automatically say it's a dynasty because they won one title. They didn't even make it to the conference finals. So let's not get carried away. Save the dynasties for people that actually got dynasties. Now, this brings me to my next thing. I've seen a lot of information about J.J. Redick being the next head coach for the Lakers. I'm sick to my stomach if that's the case. But more importantly, why is it that somebody with no head coaching experience doesn't have to put in any dues, can just step onto the scene and get the highest coaching job in the nation? Let's be realistic. There's only a few jobs that compare to being a Laker coach. Let's be realistic. All the haters can hate, but man, being a Laker is like, it's like being on Mount Rushmore. You're one of the greatest franchises ever. There's only a couple people that has that kind of clout. We're not going to pretend. Why do you think LeBron wanted to be a Laker? Legacy building. And that brings me to the Lakers argument. J.J. Redick should not be the head coach of the Lakers. No hate for J.J. Redick. To be honest with you, you're too inexperienced. You're not going to be able to hold people accountable, especially LeBron. Okay? The same guy that you're sitting on the podcast with is not the same guy that you're going to be like, go in there, play defense. Why are you not blocking out? Oh, come sit on the bench if you're not doing what I want you to do. He's not going to be able to do that. Let's be realistic. It's just a token job if he takes it. Lakers, don't do it. I've said my piece. Think it's a joke. You're making a mockery of the team. You're going to sell out anyways. We don't need this nonsense to sell out the arena. J.J. Redick is not a head coach, not a proven head coach. And let me ask you something. Why is it that no matter what, A white boy can just come out of the shadows and just become a head coach with no experience whatsoever. And in the meanwhile, people like Sam Cassell got to sit on the bench for 10, 20 years, begging and clawing for an opportunity. Why is that? I remember, just a few years ago, Ime Udoka had been sitting on the bench for 7, 8 years, interview after interviews, while Steve Nash just walks into the building and gets the head coach job for the Brooklyn Nets, and Ime had to be his assistant. How'd that work out? Come on, we gotta do better than that. Nobody wants to talk about it, man. But come on, JJ Redick walks off the TV set where he's not even a good host. He's not even a good podcast person. Sitting here talking all kind of crazy nonsense. Just because you say crazy nonsense doesn't mean that it's true. And we're just supposed to let it slide. Just make him a head coach. Give him the best job in the nation. And then LeBron is going to start complaining about him next year. Get him fired. Maybe, they'll cancel his podcast. Now, off to LeBron James Jr., Bronny James. Bronny James. Now, I have to admire what they've done with Bronny James. There's no hate. This boy had open heart surgery just a few months ago. He came back and played. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. But I'm telling you, Bronny James came back from open heart surgery. We got to give him a little break. I'm tough on his dad, but I'm not going to be tough on the young man. Now, if he's an NBA player, it's going to show. If he's not an NBA player, it's going to show. Yeah, do I, feel like he's taking opportunity from somebody that doesn't belong there? Guess what? That person that doesn't belong there is not going to be there. If you belong there, you're going to find a way, claw, do everything that you can. And sometimes life is tough. People have advantages all the time. Is it the first time that somebody that maybe doesn't deserve it gets an opportunity? Of course not. It's going to happen many more times. It's nothing special because it's LeBron James. In fact, his son y'all forget, he was a McDonald's All-American. So it's not like he's garbage. The boy can play. It's just that, maybe he's not in the right program, not in the right system. Yeah, his stats doesn't suggest that he should be a professional. But guess what suggests that he should be a professional? His daddy's DNA is in him. If nothing else, his name is going to get him a shot. When I was playing, if my daddy was a LeBron James, man, I would have had a shot too. It would have been easier for them to bring me in. They just keep it real. Now, we're not going to be naive and be like, oh, well, he belongs there, he made it on his own merits and all of that. Quite possibly he will make it on his own merit. But right now, he's getting ushered into the front door because of his daddy. And it's okay. That's what I'm saying. It's okay. Because if I could have got ushered in, I would have got ushered in. Anybody that's hating on them, if you have the same opportunity, don't tell me you're going to be like, oh, no, man, I'm mad that I wasn't born a billionaire. I don't want to have to work all my life. I could, man, yeah, give me $100 million. Let me go start a company. Come on, y'all, keep it real, man. So I know that's not what some people want to hear, man. I'm not just, going to be like, This is Real Talk with Kingsley. I keep it real. So, Bronny James, if you're going to do your thing, do it. I wish you all the success. But just know, it's not going to be easy. People are going to come at you. They are going to come at you because of who your daddy is. If I was playing, I'd cross you over. Look, I'll point at your daddy. So that's what I'm saying. You got to expect, the stuff like that. But this is Real Talk with Kingsley, man. This is keeping it real 100%. I'm in the office today, so I got to get back to work and, try to make something happen out here. Hit that like button, subscribe. If you haven't already done so, man, join the hottest podcast coming up. This is where we keep it real. Even when we offend you, we keep it real.